Hello and welcome to the Cabana Boys Podcast. You might notice things look a little different right now. We're trying out our first remote podcast over Zoom. So forgive us if there's any technical glitches or sounds a little weird or just a very static, video of Sam and I. But this is Sam, our team lead in Charleston for the Cocktail Boys and Cocktail Crew. We're going to get into his background and a little bit about him and what he's got going on in Chucktown. But before we do that, I do want to share one really exciting update we have company-wide. We have this new service, which is called the Welcome Service. And the Welcome Service is a great way to kick off the Bachelorette weekend. It's available in all of 7 of our cities. So LA, Palm Springs, Scottsdale for Cabana Boys, Austin and Nashville for Cocktail Cowboys, and Charleston and Savannah for Cocktail Boys. All 7 cities have the Welcome Service available to book now. And what this is one boy or cowboy will be there at the beginning of your weekend. They'll be there at your Airbnb. They'll help you with luggage. They will serve champagne. They'll make and serve drinks. They'll give local recommendations. They'll really just kind of help be a fun kickoff to a celebratory weekend. So they're there for about 60 to 75 minutes. So I'm really stoked about that. If you're looking for a fun way to kick off the weekend, maybe you don't have room in your itinerary for a full 2 or 3 hour party. Maybe you don't have budget for it, or maybe your Airbnb is a little small. You can still get the Cabana Boys, Cowboys, Cocktail Boys experience at the beginning of their weekend. So check it out now on our websites. But enough about that. Sam, how are you? You're on mute. Our first hiccup.
Good. And our first little hiccup of the Zoom call. I'm doing great.
Good, man. Well, thanks for being on. Maybe let's just start, tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from and what you do outside of Cocktail Boys and just your background.
Yeah. I'm actually from here, Charleston. We're a big transplant city. So whenever I tell people that, they go, "Whoa, you're like a unicorn. That's crazy. I've never met somebody like that." Which
Scottsdale's like that too, for sure.
Yeah. Which is probably something that we don't really like, because it's you'd think that if you're from a place that would be normal.
Sorry to interrupt you, but is there a place that's not like that? Because I lived in Scottsdale, I lived in Austin. Sounds like Charleston's like that. I mean, is that a thing where everybody from that town is?
Are you saying the cities that we're in, or are you saying just in general? Maybe
it's because my experience is the cities that we operate in currently, which are big and touristy, and they're fun cities, and so there are a lot of people that move to these cities to just be there and part of something fun. Maybe that's why I have that opinion, but it doesn't seem like I just don't know a city where it's everybody who lives here is from here. I've
been to Macon, Georgia, and nobody wants to go to Macon, Georgia. Pretty much all they do in Macon, Georgia is get the hell out of Macon, Georgia.
Yeah, that lines up with what I would expect. Yeah. So you're from Charleston.
From Charleston, born and raised, grew up on the boats, water sports, going to the creek, fishing, just your typical Southern beau type upbringing. Walking down the street, all my friends are on the houses right on my street. I'm walking barefoot into my friends' houses. Don't even need to knock on the door. Just open the door. Hey, Miss Kirstein, is Samantha home? Hey, is Josh home? Yeah, they're upstairs. Do you want a soda? Just kind of that kind of almost like an 80s kind of upbringing where we didn't really have a sort of direction or supervision. It was just don't come back too late and don't die.
It sounds like what's the movie with Matthew McConaughey? Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yes. Yes. Very, very similar.
Yeah. Sounds fun.
Yeah. The calluses on my feet were incredible. Not as much anymore. But right now, outside as an adult, my other job is going to be just a bartender. I bartend at a club down here, Ritual Rooftop and Lounge.
Okay.
During the day, and during the week, it's actually just a restaurant and bar. We're only rooftop, inside bar, covered patio, and then a full-on, we call it the grass bar, that has green turf, lounge tables, a concrete outside kind of U-shaped bar. And then Fridays and Saturday nights, we go straight club. We take out all the tables and chairs. It feels so bad because we have VIP bottle girls, bottle service, the whole 9 yards. And these little tiny girls have to move all of these heavy tables and all of these heavy chairs in their little tiny outfits as people are like standing up during dinner service ending at like 9:30. But then that all goes away. We have a huge DJ booth that's kind of elevated. The theme is Tulum themed. So it's got a lot of like foliage around. There's like things hanging from the ceilings. It's a big like pink and purple type vibe. Okay. It's probably like 75% populated with women that come. And then the other 25% are men trying to get with said women because they know that they're there. But it's a super fun vibe. I mean, it's like straight up house music, dance music, huge dance floor. The club scene down here has kind of gone downhill in Charleston. A couple of them have closed due to insurance issues. So Ritual is probably one of three that are like big downtown here in Charleston. I do live downtown. There's kind of like boroughs, like kind of like New York, with Charleston in the middle. And then there's North Charleston, West Ashley, Folly Beach. It all just kind of encompasses it. So I live right smack dab in the middle.
Nice.
I'm a big surfer. I've kept that in water sports wise because I'm a bartender. I don't own a boat. Can't really go water skiing.
Yeah.
But yeah, really avid surfer, big beach goer. I'm there at the beach 5 days a week. Not right now as much because
it's a little cold. You guys
to
got
us
snow
it's 56 degrees and that's cold.
You had snow last week, didn't you?
We got snow and it is still a little bit here. I've never in my entire 27 years of life seen snow stick for more than a day.
Yeah.
And it's horrible. I don't know how y'all do it or just anybody watching, anybody listening. I don't know how you do it. Maybe it's because we don't know what we're doing, but I saw people just fall on their butt 15 million times. Nobody knows what they're doing, driving, and then it just turns into dirt. I didn't know it like just got dirty. But you know, it looked nice for a day.
Yeah. Let's go on. Wait, oh shoot, dude. I forgot. Are you thirsty?
I am quite thirsty, as we say in Food and Bev.
This is like normal part. It's like normal part of our podcast, but I forgot. So I have it here. Let's open the Cabana Boys cooler.
Let's go. A famous cooler.
Look at that.
It's maybe one day I'll touch that in person.
Yeah. It's like a treasure chest.
It is, but because I can't actually reach into that here unless I magically appear in Scottsdale. I brought a little bottle of whiskey.
Let's go.
And a glass to pour with you instead of grabbing in.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm by myself, so I only put one thing in the cooler.
It's okay to drink alone. I mean, technically we're talking, so you're not alone, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So you got an Ultra. I got a little, I'm a big whiskey guy. I have probably 65 bottles of whiskey in my cupboard right now. I work at a whiskey bar. Yeah, if not more. I'm not sure. But I like collect. There's like collector stuff, like editions, stuff like that. This is a Scarlet Shade 14 year. It's an orphan barrel. This company is really cool. They basically, with a lot of whiskey distilleries, they'll like taste all of their batches. If they don't like it, or if it just doesn't go up to their standards, they will either throw it away or give it to this company. And so they take all of these orphaned barrels from all these different distilleries, blend them together and make their own. So this could be from a super famous distillery. This could be from someone's basement. Who knows?
Nice.
Hopefully not from a basement. But
pour it up and let's see. Let's get your live opinion. This is from my basement, basically.
Yeah, I want to hear your live opinion of that Mick Ultra. What flavors, what notes are you getting in that?
So, cheers.
Cheers, my friend.
Michelob Ultra is a testament to marketing working on me, because you know how Mick Ultra is like the athlete beer, right? Like they show people like working out and biking, and then they'll like have a beer like that. That worked on me. So I feel like more athletic, I guess.
Yeah, which is like completely wild because it's alcohol.
Right.
Like the marketing team is amazing at that.
Right. How's your whiskey?
Oh, it's phenomenal. It's only 90 proof, 45%. Most of the whiskey I have is, I gotta cap this before I pour it everywhere. My cat gets drunk. But yeah, most of the time I drink really higher proof, like 100 proof, 50%ers and higher. Once you start drinking a lot of whiskey, your mouth and you're like, you kind of get used to just light. And now I can drink something that's 139 proof. It's the highest I've ever gone. It's almost 70%.
Yeah, it sounds
but
like
this is nice and light. Caramel.
Oh.
wood, oak, very dry
notes.
finish. Because in the beginning, it's a little sweeter, and then now my tongue is a little dry. It's interesting.
Huh.
Thank you to all the orphans out there. Shouts out to you.
Your ability to drink that type of whiskey is similar to your ability as a kid to walk over rocks, and your feet were callous then. Now your taste buds are callous.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. It's my tongue callous.
Yeah.
Which sounds horrible to say out loud. That sounded a lot better in my head.
Yeah. Let's go back to Ritual. Is it like a huge like bachelorette bar? I'm assuming.
Oh, it's the biggest bachelorette bar in Charleston.
Really?
I've actually gotten many parties through working there.
Yeah. Okay.
They've come in, and one of them I think booked I think the next day. I can't remember exactly, but I give out my cards there all the time because people will come in bachelorette parties and they love Charleston. They love it. So then I'm like, here's my cards. If any of your friends are getting married, come back to Charleston, come see me, come see us. So it's just kind of a great way to actually like incorporate Cocktail Boys and Ritual. It's kind of a symbiotic relationship because I've sold a lot of bottle service tables to people at bachelorette parties because they'll be like, oh, where do you work? I say Ritual. It's a great bachelorette bar. You should come in. And they come in, and then I instantly convince them, hey, it's your bachelorette party, get some bottle service. And I get commission on that. So I'm promoting Cocktail Boys. Cocktail Boys is making money. Ritual's making money. It's kind of a great little symbiotic relationship. It's really fun working there. Fridays and Saturday nights are wild. There's always crazy stuff that'll happen. People leaning over the edge way too far. People getting sick. There's only been a couple fights, not as many fights as you would think in a club. Yeah, but we had to shut down a whole side of the bar because it was like a brawl. I'm talking 15 people.
So it's on or next to King Street, right? That's like
it is just straight on King. Yeah, it's like next to King Street. Marion Square is kind of our like center hub of downtown. It's a really big park, and basically there's King and Calhoun that intersect right there. Those are two of our biggest streets. Calhoun being kind of the spine that goes down to wherever you need to go. King Street being all your bars, all your shops, all your restaurants. Tourists just walk up and down it all the way. And that's where most of the time people stay. And so we're right smack dab in the middle of that. Great location, Great crowd. I mean, the bar itself is just gorgeous. It's only 2 years old. It's pretty new.
Okay, nice.
Because that location actually changes every 2 years. It's been like 5 or 7 bars since I've been able to drink. Because it's really expensive real estate. You know, it's right smack dab in the middle. It's right there on the corner. And if you're not getting constant business, then you cannot pay rent.
Yeah, but you're not doing something right.
No, you're not doing something right. But
so if you like with Charleston, you're a local. You've seen King Street evolve. Like, was King Street always that way, or is it just this more kind of a recent trend where nightlife and bachelorettes and people are associating those things with Charleston?
Charleston's always pretty much been like that.
Really?
Just it's really the only thing that's changed over the years is how much it's expanding out past King Street. Mm-hmm. How much people are moving here just exponentially. So they have to build more apartment complexes. They're gentrifying. It's going out. There have been people that have lived here for generations that now kind of what you would call like the hood, which is like kind of our east side. We kind of always joke that when you get out of college, you have to do your time on the east side. You know, when my first apartment was $450 a month, tiny. There was a hole in my window, just cracked the entire time I was there. Nice. I would hear gunshots sometimes, which is wild because Charleston is an insanely safe city.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 women can walk down the street a lot late at night downtown and be pretty safe. Like, it's not really a worry that you would think about in a city.
Do you think that, like, because I feel like there's shows like the Bravo shows, you know, Southern Hospitality and what are the other ones? Southern Charmed. Like
Southern Charm, yeah.
Do you feel like those have brought more eyeballs to Charleston?
Honestly, a little bit. I don't think it was as much as they wanted. They basically have built their entire business model on like those bars and restaurants that's based on that they have and their stores and stuff like that are okay. Now we're going to get a lot of business. I do get some people going, oh, do you know Shep? Oh, do you know Maddie Reese? Oh, do you know these people? Yeah. Like, oh, we're going to Republic because we want to see them. You know what I mean? But it's not as much as I thought that I would get, especially with Southern Hospitality starting 3 or so years ago. Oh yeah, no, that was 3 or 4 years ago. Time flies.
I remember you took me to Republic last time I was in town, and we met Joe and like one or two other people from the show. And it is weird. Like, I don't know. My wife watches Bravo. It is weird to like see those people in real life, you know?
I can see that. Well, I've known them forever. So it's like, it's like, those have been my friends when I was like there. So.
Right. But it's like, they're not like A-list celebrities, but they're also just not like average Joes either. So it's just like weird to see, you know,
for sure.
See someone who they're working the same job that they have on the show too. Like that part of it's very real, you know? I'm sure there's like some scripting and drama and things like that, but there is like a level of reality that I kind of didn't expect. So kind of cool. But
yeah, for sure.
What do you do? So outside of work and Cocktail Boys, you mentioned the beach and surfing. You're a big animal lover too, right? Tell us about your recent trip.
Yeah. I was in Peru. I was volunteering in the Amazon rainforest, middle of nowhere. Basically from Lima, which is the capital, you fly down to Puerto Maldonado, and they I flew into a hangar. You know, there were 2 gates, no AC, no Wi-Fi. I mean, it's not really, it's an airport, but the security there is abysmal. Like, he goes, do you have your passport and your ticket? And I said, oh, I only have my passport. He goes, and I was like, well, okay.
I'm surprised you didn't have to like slip him a 20 or something like that.
No, he was just like, all right. I showed him my passport, and it was a U.S. passport, and he was like, all right. But yeah, so flew down to Puerto Maldonado, which is on the corner of Bolivia, right smack dab in the middle of the rainforest. And then it was an hour or so boat ride, hour and a half boat ride from the edge of Puerto Maldonado down the Amazon River. And then we basically just smash into the side of a dirt wall. And then there's like really steep stairs. Go up it, and you're in the reserve. It's called the Taracaya Eco Reserve. Okay. And basically their job is to find sick, injured, orphaned animals, rehabilitate them, and then release them back in the wild. So tourists come randomly. It's like the actual reserve is tiny, but then the acres that they have is humongous. And these animals basically get released, and a lot of them come back just to hang out. Like, there's no walls, there's no nothing. Like, the animals are enclosed. But yeah, there's this. I made, like, my best friend was Ellie. She's a tapir, which kind of looks like a pig and an anteater, and an elephant had a baby. Okay. But they're like 450 pounds, like units. You know what I mean? And I was there for 2.5 weeks. So we slowly became friends until the point that I could just rub her head like this. Her head's like that big. Wow. I could just rub her head like that, and she would just, like, her little trunk. They have little trunks. That's why it's an elephant. And she would, like, goat up and sniff. She actually broke into my room.
Really?
Yeah. Like, we live in like tiny little cabins. There's my animal there. Yeah. That's Zuko.
Hey, Zuko.
But yeah, so she just like rammed her head. I was actually in the bathroom, and I just hear bang, bang. And I'm like, oh, my next door neighbor's doing something. Like, what's going on? Yeah. And then I kind of look out, because there's no doors. It's just like a curtain. Okay. And I kind of move the curtain, and I see her, and I get up, and she's like getting her way in. And I was like, you can't come into my room. And that's when I kind of realized, I go, oh, I'm in the rainforest. Like, this is real. Like, monkeys would get into our rooms all the time. We needed to, like, chase them out. Like, wow. This wasn't like an enclosed space. Like, we're in their home. You know what I mean?
Crazy. Yeah. I'm sure they're much like any animal. They're probably food motivated, you know? They're like searching for.
And we weren't supposed to have food, like, in our cabins for that. But my dad's like a Southern dad, you know what I mean? So he goes, you're not going to have enough protein when you're there. And he bought me all of these, like not Slim Jims, like they're like healthier, like all natural, like just meat sticks.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna have these meat sticks because I'm hungry.
Yeah.
A lot of beans, a lot of rice.
Ellie wanted a meat stick too.
Oh yeah. I actually got her tattooed right here.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's kind of what they look like.
That's cool.
Yeah. It was $9 in the city of Puerto Maldonado.
Right.
At 2:30 in the morning. At 2:30 in the morning, $9 USD.
Dude, are you like? Do you have a rash? Are you feeling okay? Like,
no, it was fine. I mean, it's just like line work, so it's not like filled in. Yeah. She just went. It took like 10 minutes. I mean, it's not perfect. There's like some lines that kind of go like that. But,
Yeah.
I knew what I was getting myself into, drunk at 2:30 in the morning in the middle of Puerto Maldonado. So, yeah,
But so
it's a story. It's nice. It's imperfection is its perfection.
Yeah. I wonder how Ellie would feel if she knew that some dude from Charleston got her tattoo.
Oh, I showed her.
Oh, okay. That's hilarious. It's like getting like mom, with the heart.
Yes, pretty much. Pretty much.
That's awesome, man. Well, give us the lowdown on Cocktail Boys Charleston. It's one of our newest cities, but I'd love to hear from you, kind of what we've got going on in Charleston, and give us a little pitch, if you will.
Yeah. So come to Charleston, Cocktail Boys Charleston. No. Yeah, we're new. So when we started kind of smack dab in the middle of the busy season toward the end. So the busy season here in Charleston, spring and summer, that's when all of our business is here. Right now in the winter, we're eating beans and rice and saving every single penny we have, Yeah. And then it just takes off. So like when we started, we're a lot more busy than I thought we were going to be, especially being that new and having that many like cocktail boys parties, cocktail crew, a little slower start. But yeah, Cocktail Boys, people loved it. They loved the service. The boys that I hired were really excited about it. It was kind of an easy pitch to get people to interview. It's like, oh yeah, you get to hang out with bachelorettes. You get to make some cocktails. You get to make some friends. You get to just kind of hang out, and you get paid for it. Like
pretty good.
People go to college to pay for that. But yeah, so we've been slowly, steadily growing with Cocktail Crew. I feel like now that I've been doing a lot of marketing myself, I've been here my whole life, been in food and bev since I was 14. I know a lot of bar managers, a lot of managers, a lot of food and beverage just around town. It's a city, but it's a really small town. So if you've been here a while, people know you. People on the street will say, "Oh, Sam Chase." And I'll be like, oh, what's up? Like, it's kind of like a really like small, like hometown kind of vibe, even though it's a city. So it was kind of easier in the marketing standpoint of getting the word out. Actually, I told you this the other day. It was actually when we were closing the bar. So I think it was like 3 a.m. I texted you guys, you and Leslie, and I said, "Oh yeah, the new bottle girl here, one of the VIP hostesses." He was talking about like the cocktail boy. She goes, "Wait, you're the man? Like you're the team lead, direct manager?" I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "Oh, I saw that online. Actually, I like looked at your whole website, like all that, and I had barely knew her. I talked to her one time, so I think Charleston's really ramping up. I'm excited for the season."
I love it. That's exciting, man. Yeah, Charleston's it's a top 10 bachelorette market. We've got our, like I shared, our welcome service, our normal party service, our brunch, our game night. We kind of cover all the bases there. So very stoked to have the team that we have there and you at the helm. So that's awesome, man. I'm glad you're able to share that. So I asked you to bring 2 truths and a lie.
Yes.
You have those ready?
I have them ready.
Let's hear them. I'm going to guess. I think the last episode, I didn't do so well. I got them wrong. So I'm hoping to redeem myself today. And I will guess. Let's hear them.
All right. 2 truths and a lie. I love Mexican food. I have been to 10 countries. And I have been on reality TV multiple times.
Okay. The last one's definitely true. I knew that.
Yeah. So you started talking about Southern hospitality and I was like, damn, he's gonna know that one.
So you either love or hate Mexican food, and you've been to 10 countries? Is that what you said? Oof. I know you're a traveler. You like to travel, but 10, I feel like 10 is like in the semantics. Like you might say like, oh, I've actually been to 12. So I'm going to say that's the lie. And that you do love Mexican.
That is not the lie.
Really?
I hate Mexican food. I mean, when I go to get Mexican food, I'll get a pitcher of margarita for myself. I'll put a straw in it and I'll eat some chips and queso. But yeah, I'm just not a big fan of it.
Why? That's okay. So does Charleston just have like terrible Mexican food, or is it that you just don't?
I mean, I've been to Mexico. Like I've been to Mexico, and the food there is nothing like any food in America, just in general.
True.
And it is like their grilled octopus, the vegetables, everything's fresh. Like they're right there on the water. It's amazing. And then you get here and like, it's not that I hate it, to be honest with you, but everybody loves Mexican food.
Yeah.
But I will never, if someone goes, what do you want to eat? I'll never say, oh, let's get Mexican. But I do love margaritas. So they got me on the drinks.
Dude,
But
you just said pitcher of margaritas, chips and queso, and I'm like, I think we got to cut this podcast short. I got to go get some lunch, go have a
honestly,
chips and queso by myself. That sounds so good.
Yeah, we'll just stay on the Zoom call. We'll both go to our nearest Mexican restaurant, keep this interview going.
That's actually not a bad idea. We should do these episodes of like out in the wild. Like
location based.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. Yeah.
So you like Mexican food when it's authentic in Mexico, but you don't like
in Mexico, yes, Americanized,
okay.
And even like because I know there's like Mexican food here and other places that's not Tex-Mex. Right. I still am not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of burritos. This is where people want to stab me in the back. I'm not a big fan of tacos. Like I'll eat them, and this is the one taco I like. The Doritos Locos taco from Taco Bell has a special place in my heart. I don't care what you say or anyone else says. I feel horrible after eating it, but oh my God, are those just delicious.
It is good, but that is the most Americanized version of a taco.
Oh, 100%. But it's nothing else. I'm getting nothing else at Taco Bell. I'm getting 5 Doritos Locos tacos, eating all of them, and then hating myself.
That's fair. All right, so you've been to 10 countries. Can you list them off?
Yeah, I actually had to write them down because I couldn't think of them when I was out. When I was like just out and the people would ask me.
Yep.
I have been to...
I'm going to write mine down because now I'm curious.
Yeah, I want to hear yours too, for sure. Yeah. Why is it not coming up right now? Oh, there it is. So I've been to Mexico, Tulum and Cancun. I've been to Spain, Barcelona. I've been to France, Paris, and Nimes. I've been to Italy, Florence, Milan, Rome. I've been to Monaco, Monte Carlo. I've been to England, London. I've been to Scotland, Glasgow. I've been to Israel, Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, Haifa, Herzliya. I've been to the Bahamas, Nassau, and now Peru, Lima, and Puerto Maldonado.
Dude, that's impressive. Some of those are like not ones that I would expect, you know?
Yeah, there's like the basic ones, you know, like Tulum, you know, basic one. Or you're like, what's the one? Mykonos in Greece.
Yeah.
England, London, you know, Barcelona, Spain, but yeah, we actually, the reason why I went to all these, because we got stuck in Europe. I was supposed to go to Barcelona and Florence. That was it. Okay. We were with me, my friends, my other friend, and his girlfriend. And then his dad flies for JetBlue. He's flown for JetBlue forever, so he gets like cheap tickets. We went to London round trip for $50, which was insane.
Damn, that's crazy, yeah.
Yeah, so we were like, oh, let's go to these couple cities. We'll take the train system. And then about 7 days into it, my friend and his girlfriend were like, we're going home. And my friend Dave is from Scotland, Glasgow. So he was like, wait, I called my family. Do you want to come up and see my family for like 5 days? And I was like, absolutely. Let's go see your family. So we went up to Glasgow, and then his family, the Scottish people are insane. Like absolutely insane. They also have the best Indian food that I've ever had other than
really?
Oh, yes. There's a large Indian population there. It's insane and it's delicious. The people are not like Charleston.
Yeah.
It's like the New York of Europe. I'll tell you that. I'm saying hi to people on the street. And he's like, don't do that. But yeah, so we couldn't get back down because you can take this thing called I think it's called the Euro Trail, Euro Pass. Can't remember. But you can you pay X amount of money and then you get the train system for free for like 6 days.
Nice.
So that's how we got around. Yeah. And there was transportation strikes. This is like 3 or 4 years ago, where they were underpaid and overworked. And so they shut down all the main train lines. They went on strike. And so we're just stuck on can't go to the main train line down because we have to leave out of London Gatwick Airport. Yeah. So instead we go around the small train lines to all these small cities, to all these countries. We have like a day and a night in all of these cities. So during the day, we're doing tourist stuff, we're seeing, and at night, we're going clubbing, we're going out. And then we have an hour and a half of sleep on a train, and then we wake up and we do it again. I probably slept for 16 hours in the span of 7 days, maybe. Oh my God. It was the worst of times, but it was the best of times.
That's something you could only do in your like mid or to early 20s, I feel like.
Yeah, I was 23, 24, I think, actually.
Yeah.
Sounds like a blast, but I mean, I was dying. Like, it was, there were moments where we were just like wanting to cry in our hands. And there were moments where we were like hugging each other. This is the best night of my life. You know what I mean? Like,
that reminds me, I went on Yacht Week in Croatia, which is one of my countries. And the last night, like, people were sick. They were so tired. They like skipped the, finale party just because it was just like, 6 straight days of like hard partying day and night. It just gets to you, but I think I got you beat. I'm at 14. US,
14?
Canada.
I did not expect that. I didn't.
I know. World traveler. US, Canada, Mexico, BVI's.
You can't. Wait. You can't count the US.
Well, that's it. I've been to the country.
All right. So then I've been to 11 countries.
BVI's, British Virgin Islands. That was Gatwick the first time I went. France, Belgium, the Netherlands, Bahamas, China, Cambodia, Germany, Hungary, England, and Croatia.
Nice. So you're a lot more on the eastern side of the world.
Yeah. Well, China, I don't know if I would count it. It was like a 12-hour layover, and I was by myself.
Did you leave the airport?
I did. Yeah.
Okay, then it counts. As long as you leave the
airport. I took a taxi into like downtown Guangzhou, which is a city I'd never heard of before this trip, by the way. And it's like 10 times the size of Chicago, which is just nuts to me. And I took a cab, and I was like, I tried to communicate with the cab driver. Like, I just want to go to like the city center and it just, experience, right? Town. And he took me somewhere, and I just walked around, and I ate at a Chinese, like an authentic Chinese restaurant, which is probably like a Denny's for them. And, little Chinese girls were like looking at me because I'm tall and.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. You're a skyscraper over there.
Yeah. So it was a good experience, but I definitely want to go back and like actually be a tourist. But yeah, I'm actually kind of impressed. 14 countries. Pretty good. I like it.
Pat yourself on the back there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, cool, man. Well, this has been super fun. Anything else you want to leave the audience with, around Charleston or Cocktail Boys or Cocktail Crew?
Yeah. I mean, we're one of the top destinations to visit. Like I said, small town. If any of y'all want to come to Charleston, which what people do is they come to Charleston and then they move here because they love it so much.
Yeah.
I don't really plan on leaving. So definitely come here, come into Ritual. You'll find me there every weekend and a couple days during the week.
Let's go.
Let's have a good time.
I'm excited. I'm going to come out to Charleston in the next few weeks. I'm excited.
Oh yeah. We'll have a good time.
Yeah.
I'll try to take you to the other side of town.
Okay. The place with the gunshots, please don't.
Yeah, no, it's kind of fun dodging bullets. No, there's a whole like French Quarter, kind of like Savannah as well.
Oh,
but
okay.
A couple more bars and restaurants, but yeah.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Right on. Well, thanks, dude. Appreciate you being on. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Like I mentioned, check out our welcome service. It's an awesome way to kick off your bachelorette weekend. Give us a like and a follow on the podcast. Tell a friend. It helps us grow the show. And we'll catch you all soon. Thanks.
Cheers, y'all.
Thank you for listening to the Cabana Boys Podcast. Please like and subscribe to get new episodes as they're released. Write to the show by sending an email to the Cabana Boys Podcast at gmail.com. You can find the video version of the show on YouTube at the Cabana Boys YouTube channel. The Cabana Boys and all other related brands are also on Instagram and TikTok at Cabana Boys Podcast, The Cabana Boys, The Cocktail Cowboys, and The Cocktail Boys. This has been a T-Door production.